The dynamic duo.
Welcome to the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show. I am Nancy Blizzard. My guest today is Eddie Ricke. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
I understand you're a student at the Art Institute of Colorado.
That is correct. I'm a fourth-year fashion design student at the Art Institute of Colorado. I do graduate this December, fingers crossed.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You must be so excited about that.
I am very, very excited about it.
Wow, that's wonderful.
I'm ready to get on with my life.
Tell me how your childhood affected your influence in your fashion design.
When I was a young child, I spent a lot of my summers with my grandparents in the mountains of California. And I was always interested in watching my grandmother sew. She always sewed my grandfather's suits. And she began teaching me at the age of 7 just the simple basics, and I learned my love from sewing from her. And I know that she is sitting on my shoulder watching over me today.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is great. Where do you start creating your designs? How do you start?
I am opposite of most designers. I don't sketch first. I actually have created each one of the designs that you will see today based on the fabric first. So I'd see the fabric, I would get the inspiration from the fabric, and then I would create from there, and then I'll sketch afterwards.
Do you have a favorite fabric or material that you use?
I love working with silk. Anything silk, everything silk. Just has a luxurious feel to it. It sews beautifully, and whoever wears it really just has this sense of luxury when they're wearing silk.
Tell me a little bit more about your collection.
The collection that we're going to see today is a compilation of different pieces. I wanted to bring in some of my casual pieces. I've got a one-piece jumper. There's a 40s inspired dress. I've got a piece that is a little bit more on the costumey side. I do have a bridal gown with the collection today. And there's also three pieces, excuse me, that are more formal attire. A very large ball gown. I've got a fit and flare gown with a very long train, which would be perfect at Met Ball. And then I've got a red shiny fabric dress that was recently created for a project.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see your collection, and I know the audience is too.
I'm excited to show.
Okay, well let's not waste any more time, right?
Sure thing, let's do it.
Let's get the bottles on stage so we can see your collection.
Wonderful. She's wearing a wonderful, fun, one-piece floral jumper, which would be great for any picnic, garden party, a day on the yacht. And she wears it so beautifully.
Oh, it's beautiful. I like that. I love flowers.
Floral
Flowers
fabric is fun.
It's a beautiful fabric. Jumpers are so comfortable, and that one in particular is just very dressy, and you could just wear it just about anywhere. Very
you can
beautiful.
dress it up with a blazer, you can dress it down without.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Courtney.
Samantha is wearing a beautiful Christian Dior inspired 40s gown. Wanted to challenge myself with a large floral print fabric. I'd not worked with a large floral print before, so it was a nice challenge for myself.
And you do like to challenge yourself, don't you?
I do like to challenge myself, most definitely. This piece was designed for the 2016 Urban Nights student project. and it got accepted, and I was ever so happy to showcase it there.
You must be so proud that you were part of that show. That's
I
a
am
very
very
big show
proud. I'm
here in
hoping to
Denver.
show on the main stage next year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Fingers crossed. This is Amber. Amber's wearing one of my little bit more costumey pieces. I have a large background in theater, and I was a dancer for Disney for many years. So doing the costumey side is something I always love to dabble in as well. It's a tulle skirt with a separate corset and a sheer ruffled blouse. It's great for any Halloween party, any masquerade ball. It would be just a fun piece to wear out to a club on a night when you just want to have fun and be different from everybody else.
I love the corset.
Thank you.
I love the corset and the ruffled, the ruffles here are just so cool. I love that dress. That's great, and it looks great with her boots. It really,
Yes.
really just
It
makes
works
the
great
outfit.
with the boots, and her hair color ties in so nicely with the corset as well.
That'd be such a fun dress to wear out.
It is true.
It is beautiful.
This is Ella. Ella is wearing one of my bridal gown pieces. This was one of my senior collection gowns. This gown was quite special. There is 70 hours of hand beating along the trim and on the bodice. It is fully hand smocked. The bodice is fully boned, and the bodice is also made of silk Duchess satin.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful.
Thank you. I have a very large passion for hand beating and handwork.
Oh my,
And
I love it. You can see that the bodice is sparkling. That is just beautiful. What a great dress.
Thank you. Thank you. I someday hope to go to London to work on my hand beating and hand embroidery techniques. There's an academy there that teaches a degree program. So this being my first major huge attempt at hand beating a gown, I can't wait to see where I go from here.
You just keep challenging yourself all the time, don't you?
Life is too short not to.
I just can imagine after you go to school in London what else you're going to be able to create after.
I'm hoping to be able to create anything and everything. Anything my hands touch, I want to be magical. And I want the person wearing it to feel like a true princess for the day.
I don't know how you could not feel like a princess in that dress, or any of your dresses. They're just absolutely beautiful and stunning.
Thank you.
Eddie, they really are. Thank you so much, Ella. That is so beautiful on you. And this course in London is 6 weeks, you said?
It's a summer intensive course. So it's a 5-year process, but it's for 6 weeks at a time. So every summer for 5 years, I would do 6 weeks. And each time I would learn a different technique, a different traditional hand technique like silver work or gold work, the crewel embroidery. Those are all things I can use to enhance any of my bridal gowns. So little is actually hand done these days that I want to bring that art form back. A lot of people, when they think of hand sewing anything or hand beading anything, they call me crazy. 70 hours is a lot of time to spend on just the trim of one dress. This is Caitlin. Caitlin is wearing a red gown with a gathered bodice and a high collar. When the last Bridal Fashion Week high collars were in, especially the Victorian high collars. So this gown was really fun to make, not as a bridal gown, but as an evening gown, to do with that beautiful crimson red color. Just really will light up any night and just make it special for whatever event or occasion that they're going to.
I love the material.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, look at that. It is beautiful.
It shimmers so nicely, and especially in the evening light, it brings up that really dark vampy color, and it just is stunning. People will stop and stare.
I imagine they would. That is so pretty. It's just absolutely beautiful, absolutely just stunning.
Thank you. Thank you. Another fun one to create. I would just like to be different and play with different silhouettes and different, techniques and patterns all the time.
Yeah, and you just always trying something new and really not being afraid of something that's a challenge and just going out there.
Never afraid of a challenge. I'm never afraid of a critique, because even a negative critique is positive to learn from. If somebody doesn't like it, I will learn from that experience.
And most people don't like to be critiqued. So most people, don't like criticism. They take it personally, but you see it as a growing, like something to grow from.
I see criticism, good or bad, as a way to grow, as a way to be a better designer, as a way to not make those mistakes again, and a way to just be able to express my work and change it to, not everybody's gonna like my work. I know this, but growing from what they say and what they tell me, that's the only way I'm going to grow as a designer, and not, stay in the same, what's the word I'm looking for? Stay stuck in the same rut.
Yes.
This is going to allow me to really grow as a designer with everyone's critique, negative or positive.
That's what's wonderful. That's a great attitude to have.
Thank you.
It really is. I know you're a hard worker. I know you work hard. I know you put a lot of hours into your fashion.
I do. And luckily I've got an amazing fiance who is just that amazing support system for me.
I'm thankful you have someone like that in your life that supports you.
It is true. Because we all need some mental support.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
You have some wonderful models, too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is Chantal. She is a stunning model that I discovered through our friend Anthony Hyman. She's wearing a fit and flare gown this was originally a mock-up for one of my senior collection pieces. But I loved it so much in the red that I prefer it over the actual final in white. And she wears it beautifully. The final gown has 60 yards of fabric within the entire gown, with 20 on the outer shell, 20 in the lining, and 20 in the sewn on the inside, hand sewn on the inside.
Hand sewn.
Hand sewn. Got to hand sew it.
To get it the way you want it.
Yes.
Exactly, right?
And there's a large velvet bow in the back.
Yeah, the bow.
I wanted to go with an Asian feel with this gown, with the cutouts and the collar line, but I wanted to bring in the difference with the big bow, which was also a trend in the last Barcelona Bridal Week, was large bows.
Oh, that's just absolutely beautiful. I love the train.
Thank you.
It is incredible.
That's a train that everyone will stop and notice.
Yes.
But to enjoy the entire night, we would have to bustle it up for her, because to drag that around all night long, I don't think there's enough alcohol in the world to make that happen.
I really like the fact that the bow has the long, the long tail. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like that, the way it has a long tail. I like the way you did that. It just draws, it's just more attention to the dress. It just even draws more attention to the dress. I like that.
More attention, and it just kind of breaks up all the red a little bit, but ties in the black a lot.
See, that's you were thinking, you really thought it through, didn't you? Very well.
I did.
It doesn't surprise me.
I love working with color, and I love working with different textiles.
You're so versatile. You're so versatile. That's why I can't imagine your collection is just going to get more versatile, and we'll see more different fabrics, and with the embroidery and the beading. Oh my goodness!
Just going to get bigger.
It is.
There's always a place to start.
There's always something that's stunning.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. And you had mentioned that if you had a celebrity that you would want to wear your dress, who would that be?
I would love to see Nicole Kidman in the dress that Chantel has on.
Oh, okay.
I think she'd be stunning on the red carpet in that gown with the high collar and
Yes.
her beautiful long neck. And I think for like the Grammy Awards, I think pink would be a good option for the gown that Amber wore. Just the fun, playful with the corset, I think would be a good look for a pop star. Model is Janelle. The gown is made up of 20 yards of silk dupioni with silk velvet. There's 20 yards of hand-sewn cotton flannel in between the lining and the dupioni to give it the weight that I wanted for the dress, and then 20 yards of the lining. So this gown here has 60 yards of fabric altogether in it, with 175 hand-sewn buttons down the back. And Dossie is an amazing model and commands attention when she takes the runway. Actually, this is a three-piece ensemble. So the pencil skirt, which is made of black satin and the black lace, is a different piece from the corset, which is a fully boned lace-up corset in the back with a high collar lace bolero over top. I just love fashion from history. I love all aspects of what our fashion forefathers created. I take their inspiration and their passion and bring it up and try to make it an updated feel.
That is a beautiful dress. Tell me more about this.
Thank you so much. This is our final gown of the evening. The model is Adrienne Harness. It is a red velvet flocked gown with a damask pattern. It has, the unique thing about this dress is the skirt and the bodice are separates. So if somebody is wearing this piece to an event, she can use the restroom easily by just dropping the skirt and wearing, a pair of shorts underneath, whatever she's comfortable with. It is a zipper back, fully boned bodice with a small train.
Ew, it's beautiful. It's stunning. I love the feather.
Thank you.
I love the feather just across her chest like that. I think that is just so elegant and beautiful.
I wanted to give it a period feel without being too much to compete with the pattern of the fabric.
Yes, it's something. And you like historical type gowns.
I do love
that correct?
anything from history. I take a lot of my inspiration from Christian Dior from the late 40s, and then Charles Frederick Worth, who is the father of couture.
Wow, that's something. This is just a beautiful gown.
Thank you.
If you walk into a room like that, everybody's going to just be like,
Everyone is going to stop and stare.
They will.
I was recently in Raw. I showed there. I did a show called Trafficked. I did a show called Furry Little World where it was fairy tale themed, and it was to raise money for the Denver Animal Shelter. Some smaller shows, I did a Vespacito show, was my very first runway show that Adrienne was by my side with. God bless her, she's been with me since the beginning. And that was the first time I'd seen one of my dresses walk the runway. And I could not control myself. I cried the entire time.
Oh, gosh.
Because it was just such a, I never ever thought in a million years that that's where I would be, or this is where I would be. And to see something that I created with my hands walk down the runway was just emotional. And Adrienne did such a beautiful job that night, and every night and every show that she's been a part of with. It is a contemporary bridal gown that has a lot of historical flair to it, accented with ostrich feathers, and it's made up of 32 yards of silk and linen fabric. She's definitely captured the princess look.
Every woman wants to be a princess. Believe me, we do. Even when we get older, we still want to be a princess.
And I believe on their wedding day, it's their day, they should be a princess of the day. The great thing about this gown is the skirt is a separate piece from the bodice. If she wants to get even more comfortable, she can add a pair of jeans to it, like a pair of white jeans if she wants to go that route. I would be more than happy to design a second skirt for the bride. So if they wanted more of a pencil skirt or something shorter that's not as grand that she can enjoy through the reception while she's dancing, it is a possibility. Every show I've done, she has been there.
Oh, that's so great. That's wonderful.
Well,
She's a beautiful model.
she's a beautiful model. She's also a beautiful friend. We've known each other for 9 to 10 years. We met doing theater. And the little story about Adrienne is I called her one night and I'm like, I was asked to do this walk around fashion show and I don't know any models. Do you want to wear the dress and walk around with me?
It's something that I've always been interested in, but I hadn't really thought about it until he offered me the opportunity to model for him at Fashion Associates of Denver. It was his first, it wasn't exactly a runway show, it was just a walk around event. And he had me over early, he did my hair, we had my makeup done, and we went and we both had an absolutely amazing time. It was a neat experience for both of us.
We walked around, both of us were as nervous as can be, but we got some really good exposure that night. She looked amazing, and every show since then I've had her as a part of my show. She is pretty much my muse and has been there.
You guys have a
helping
very
me.
strong bond. What a strong
We do,
bond.
and she's an amazing model, and I want to say I wouldn't be here where I am without her.
I love Eddie's designs. They just make me feel pretty. For me, dressing up, is the most exciting part of modeling. And anytime I put on one of his dresses, I feel absolutely like a princess. I feel regal, very regal. I love how flowy they are. They're always unique. They always have a different feel to them. I don't think any two of his dresses are the same in any way.
So when is Red Ball?
Red Ball is November 20th.
Okay.
I am still waiting for the phone call to say that I have been chosen, but I'm feeling very passionate about being chosen. Being a new designer in the Denver area, I think that's what Red Ball is looking for. I'll be creating 5 gowns for Red Ball. One of them, which will be my finale piece, I'm very excited about, and I know Adrienne is super excited to wear and to do a photo shoot in, but it's inspired by the TV show Once Upon a Time. So it'll be very large, lots of feathers, lots of boning, lots of structure, and lots of fabric. I'm very excited to see that gown walk the runway. When I mentioned earlier that I was a dancer for Disney for 13 years, 13 happens to be a lucky number for me. I danced there for 13 years. It was my dream job until I've discovered this one. It took me 13 auditions before I got cast. And I never gave up. I kept going. I kept dancing every single time. And then finally they hired me. And 13 years later, I had to leave to move here to Colorado.
You're so inspiring.
Oh, thank you. I will never give up. I will never grow up, and I will never give up.
Those are 2 things that are really actually good personality traits.
I have
like
Peter
that.
Pan syndrome like no tomorrow. I will never grow up. Every time I see one of my gowns on the runway, I get just tingles of, I can't believe I made that. Or the first time I put Adrienne in a dress, a new dress, and the look on her face is like, oh my God, I love this, and I want to wear it all the time. It's a great feeling. Today, when I chose the models for the show, I hand chose each one of them based on the personality of the dress. And each one did that really well, and they were all so excited to put on that one garment. They were just excited and happy all morning long when we were doing all the hair and makeup and everything. Each one of them were excited with the garment that I hand chose while hand selecting them as my models.
And also, what the audience will not know is that you did everyone's hair today.
That is true. I have won a couple of awards in the past doing hair for theater, so I do have that talent of being able to do hair myself. So if I never have a hair designer, I can always just take the time and do it myself. I don't need to be one of those designers that sits back and lets everybody do everything for them. I need to be hands-on and just be there. It gives me a way to talk to my models. It gets the nerves out of them. We're laughing, talking, having a great time with each other. And yeah, I enjoy doing the hair for the models. It just really calms everybody. And they're always happy with it at the end.
For modeling, the first thing I would teach somebody coming into the industry is not to be afraid. Everybody gets nerves and jitters when you get out in front of people. When you have that much pressure on you, I mean, it's natural to feel a little nervous, but don't be afraid to just express yourself. Try new things. You know, don't hold yourself in. Just be confident. I mean, confidence is absolutely key in any kind of modeling.
One of the things I do at every one-way show is I stand next to the curtain, and as each model is walking out the curtain, I hold their hand and give them a positive squeeze of energy. Oh. So that's where I am during the show, because I want to be, I know what they look like. I want the audience to enjoy them. I want to be encouraging to them as they're going to step out onto the runway. But hearing the audience from backstage has made me cry a time or two. Just hearing the positive reactions from the audience, and knowing that I was the one to create what they're looking at. And then being that positive support for each one of my models who have taken so much of their time that day to be there for me.
That's amazing how you're so appreciative of your models and so respectful and
you have to be appreciative of your models, because the clothes, yes, the clothes can sell themselves, but without the perfect model in the dress, it's not going to ever look right. The dress is not a complete package without the model in it. So putting the model in each piece and pairing that dress with the perfect model to match their personality. For instance, Samantha has such a beautiful hour shape figure that the 40s inspired dress was the perfect dress for her.
I know, she's beautiful. They all were.
They all are beautiful, and I'm very fortunate to have each and every one of them, not only as my models, but as my friends, and standing beside me and giving me support all the time.
That's wonderful. That's just must drive you even further. That's just it's just a way. It's just that type of support just kind of drives you further. It right?
does. It pushes me to achieve excellence. It pushes me to create new collections that I can see these girls in. To someday be able to take them to New York with me is what I would like to do to say thank you to them, or to take them to Barcelona Bridal Week, which is my ultimate goal. I wouldn't want to rely on the models there. I'd want to bring my own models, because each one of them have stood by me and they deserve to be shown. They deserve that recognition. They deserve to walk a main stage, a big runway like that.
Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? I just love your goals. I love the way you set these goals, and you just set them, and you just know you're going to get there. I could see it. You have no doubt that you're going to be there.
I've got goals. I have dreams, and I don't ever lose my dreams. I don't give up on my dreams. And if I'm going to be on a main stage at Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, by God, Adrienne will be right there next to me, because she deserves every last minute of it.
Oh my gosh, it's so awesome.
She needs the exposure just as much as I do. Every one of my girls tonight needs that exposure outside of Denver, because each one of them are stunning and gorgeous and are unique on the runway.
Over the next few years, I would absolutely love to see Eddie going to different countries, going international. I know one of his dreams is to go show in Europe, Barcelona. I mean, he'd love to broaden his horizons, and I absolutely see him going there. And I would be thrilled to be alongside with him if I can, and if not, I will absolutely be in the wings cheering him on with the best that I can. I'm thrilled to see where he's going.
Okay. What do you see or envision yourself for the future after all the classes in London?
I envision myself having a nice little shop somewhere with a private clientele, you know, high celebrity, local clientele. A shop just to be happy. I'm not necessarily looking for fame and fortune. I'm not looking to be the next best thing in fashion. I am wanting to create pieces that women are comfortable in, that women love, and that they want to wear to different events. And I want to be able to make them custom for each person that comes to my shop. Fame and fortune would be great, but it's not a necessity. As long as I am happy, as long as I am surrounded by positive, happy people, that's all I can ask for.
Thank you for watching the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show here at Denver Open Media. It's been my pleasure to have Eddie Ricke on my show. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you so much for being on my show. Have a wonderful day.